Phoenix Suns have won 4 straight. They're still tied for the 10th spot. They still have the tiebreaker over Dallas. Dallas won last night. Sacramento lost again tonight. Dallas is in action. Sacramento's in action. Spurs are in action. Portland's in action. Everybody but the Suns has a game tonight. So there's a lot of scoreboard watching to go tonight. Mike Budenholzer has already done the thing, Gambo, and he has already ruled out Bradley Beal for the Boston game on Wednesday. He will not play. There is very much you got a good thing going, don't mess with it vibe right now about the Phoenix Suns. At some point, Bradley Beal is going to be ready to come back, unless he's not. But at some point, Bradley Beal is going to be ready to come back, and when he does, Mike Budenholzer is going to have to do a circus act in terms of balancing his lineup to make sure whatever it is they've tapped into right now stays just like this.
He won't start.
I don't doubt it.
He's not going to start. They're 13-3 this season when Durant and Booker play without Beal.
Yes.
Now, the hard part about this is, and on a preface is, me and you both kind of agree, Bradley Beal's not an awful basketball player. He doesn't suck. It's just a terrible fit. They don't need what he brings to the table.
Yes.
Bradley Beal's a really good scorer.
100%.
He's way overpaid at $50 million. If he was making $25 million a year, he would have been traded no problem. But he makes $50 million a year. It's hard to trade him. It's not that he sucks. He's a good basketball player. But what he brings to the table is scoring. He's not a defensive guy, and he's not an intangible guy. You know, he's not going to come up with 11 assists in a game, and he's not going to grab 10 rebounds, and he's not going to fight for every loose ball and defend the other team's best player. They don't need what he brings to the table. They've got Book and they've got KD. They need glue guys around Book and KD. And that's why you're seeing Cody Martin playing and Ryan Dunn and Osa Ighodaro and Colin Gillespie and Nick Richards and all these glue guys that they don't need the ball in their hands. Bradley Beal needs the ball in his hands to be successful. But if Bradley Beal's playing with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, well, it's also taken away from their greatness. So what I think you're going to see, is that Bradley Beal does come back, you're going to see a very limited role for Bradley Beal. I don't expect that he's going to start, and I think it's pretty safe to say you'll probably see a very limited role for him.
In some ways, and I'm not saying in all ways, I'm just saying in some ways, I think a little bit of a sneak preview we might have seen last night. And what I mean by that is Grayson Allen made his return last night. He played about 12 minutes. Now, I know he's got the foot injury, and maybe they're going to ramp him back up a little bit, but look at the minute distribution last night. Ryan Dunn played 30. Cody Martin played 14. Oso played 19. Colin played 22. Grayson Allen played 12 minutes last night. Royce O'Neal played about 13 minutes last night. It was very, without looking at the box score, I was at the game with my son last night, and even he made the observation, like, towards the end of the first quarter. I was like, hey, is Grayson going to get in this game? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe I thought he was ready. I thought he was healthy, that he had no restrictions. What you saw with Grayson, and I think to a lesser extent what you saw with Royce, I think you're onto something. I think that's probably what you're going to see with Bradley Beal, because right now they don't want to mess with this.
You think about Grayson Allen and how great of a three-point shooter he is. And I'm a Grayson Allen fan. I like him, but he's also a liability defensively.
Totally.
I mean, he's the guy you search out matchups. Teams get switches onto Grayson Allen.
No doubt. Because
it's easy to blow by Grayson Allen and go in for a layup or a dunk or whatever you want. It's just easier. It's easier to force the defense to come to you because you can get by Grayson Allen. What they're having success with right now is dominant performances by Kevin Durant, really good performances by Devin Booker, and a bunch of other guys just fitting in with whatever you need me to do.
Yeah.
What do you need me to do? I'll do it.
That being said, there were, and I don't know if you noticed the same thing last night, there were a couple of moments in last night's game, and I can't pinpoint them or recall them off the top of my head, where you look at the five on the floor and you do think to yourself, man, they could use just a little bit more scoring out there.
Okay, start of the fourth quarter.
Right, you just look at the lineup and go, in that moment, a Bradley Beal wouldn't be bad to have him out there for a few minutes just to give you another scorer out there.
Started the fourth with Tyus, Oso, Allen, Book, and Cody.
That's one of the ones where I'm like,
Tyus jumped, but Tyus had three baskets. He hit like three runners in the fourth.
He can score, but it's not his main function for the Suns. No, it's not his main function.
Yeah,
a lineup like that, a lineup where
could use Beal's scoring.
Like anytime, okay, if it's just one of KD or Book, and they're out there with Dunn, Oso, and Cody Martin, that's kind of one of those lineups where if it's Book or KD with those three, I think in those moments, Bradley Beal might help. But you're right. It's got to be limited, and he can't start, and he shouldn't be getting 25, 26, 28 minutes a night. Now, maybe something changes. Maybe this gets derailed. Maybe these young kids don't play as well, and Mike Budenholzer has a reason to go back to what he was doing before. But right now, I mean, to me, there's the least surprising quote I have read today comes from Mike Budenholzer on Twitter, and I just had it here a second ago. This is from Dwayne Rankin over at AZ Central. Mike Budenholzer said Bradley Beal has not done any 5-on-5, will miss his 5th straight game Wednesday against the Celtics with a left hamstring strain. He's ramping up his court work. We feel he's making good progress. The next few days are big. We'll just see how he progresses each day. Man, that is as slow play as you're going to get from Bud, right? Like, and 95-on-5. We'll see. Next few days are huge. Slow. Like, there's no rush, none whatsoever to see him out there on that floor.
So one thing I could say about the starting 5, we don't know what's going to happen with Kevin Durant, but Ryan Dunn, he's got 29 minutes last night. He's going to be here next year. Nick Richards is going to be here next year. Colin Gillespie is going to be here next year. Devin Booker's going to be here next year. Like, these guys are going to be here. I think there's something about playing these guys over the guys that aren't going to be here, too.
Yeah, but I think you got to be careful with that, too, only in that you've suddenly given life to this season and this season meaning something. You don't want, and I agree with you, those guys should play. But I think more importantly, those guys should play because they're helping you win basketball games.
That's right.
No, those guys shouldn't play because you're setting yourself up for next year. Those guys should play because they're helping you win basketball games. And as long as they're continuing to help you basketball games, they should continue. Next year's next year. We'll figure out next year when we get there. Right now, because of this spark and this spurt, it's all about this season. It's all about getting into this play-in tournament. It's all about seeing what kind of damage you can do when you get there. Play the kids, not because you're setting them up, because you need to play the kids.
But a week to 10 days ago, we were all on board with play the kids because they need to get experience.
Yes, totally.
And now they're getting experience, and they're actually helping you win basketball games.
The target package has changed, right? It's not the target of giving them minutes has totally changed. A week and a half ago, it was. Season's done. Play the kids. Season's not done.
I don't expect Bradley Beal is going to be back with the Suns next year. I don't expect he's going to be back. And I don't expect that he's going to start any more games for the Phoenix Suns. What role he plays when he comes back, I don't know. But I would imagine it's going to be a limited role.
I'll tell you this.
They're having so much success without him.
Suns better be very careful about what they're willing to attach to Bradley Beal to get him off their roster next year. Because these kids, they're sticky. They're making me want to keep them around. Ryan Dunn in a trade, Oso Ighodaro in a trade, using one of these young kids in a trade to get rid of Bradley.
You just wave and stretch him then.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm building up to. I mean, it's like I don't think a trade's going to develop for Bradley Beal this offseason. I really don't. I think it's going to have to. If what you're saying is correct, I think it's going to have to be the wave and stretch.
I think that because if you've got to give up I'm not giving up Oso.
No way.
I didn't want to do this at the trade deadline. I didn't want to give up these guys.
I'm not trying to overvalue Oso or Ryan Dunn, but at the same time, if they're playing like
cheap players,
and I'm not in a hot rush to get rid of those guys. No, not at all.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.